Well, here we go. Part 2 for Pac-Man, Lesson 2. Now, I got this from this website to give credit where credit is due. Alright, we need to have the object move north, south, east, and west. This will help us. So we're going to make a new class called enum.cs. So you're going to do the same thing as usual. Go project, add class, and you're going to add enum.cs. Okay? So to show you what we want, we're going to have this guy right here. Okay, and here's the using statements, and here's what it's going to look like, a little something like this. Okay, so let's talk about this. Alright, add the following using statements to enum. What are the using statements and what are they for? What are using statements and what are they for? Answer that question. Alright, the enum keyword is used to declare. Write this down. Okay, so so basically this class is in enumeration. Okay, it's a special kind of class, and it basically has a bunch of constants called an enumerator list. And a constant is a variable that never changes because north is always north, south is always straight down, east and west. Okay, so by the way, when we change the class public enum rotation enum, so this has made it kind of a special kind of class that's an enumeration. Alright, so north, east, west, these are never going to change, so that's why they are constants. Name constants called the enumerator list, and what are they? Well, I just told you. Okay, add this using statement to pacman.cs. Okay, so basically now we're ready for some user input. So when we add that using statement, it allows you to use the keyboard and the Xbox game controller on the Xbox, and you can also use the controller on the PC. Okay, and so we need the speed to tell it how fast the Pac-Man is going to move. Okay, this will allow keyboard and controller input. Alright, so we're going to go to Pac-Man. There's Pac-Man. Okay, so if we go to the using statements, you can see that I added the input. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add some variables. So look, we need to keep track of the keyboard state. So this would not work. What do we think of a variable as? What do each of these variables do? Answer those questions. Okay, and what do we think? This variable, basically what it does is it creates a box in the RAM. Okay, so it says, hey, I want you to create a box in the RAM called current keyboard state. And what does it hold? Well, it holds the current keyboard state. It holds all the information coming from the keyboard. Okay. So anyway, so we're going to keep track of all this stuff and write that down. Okay. So if I want to show this to you, so what that's going to look like is now the Pac-Man is going to look like this. Okay. Okay, add update method to Pac-Man CS. This is just the first half. Alright, so Pac-Man now needs some more coding so that every time the act method hits or the game loop runs, whatever you want to call it, so some code is going to happen. So you're going to add this code to it. So so here's the first half. Here's the second half. Okay. Okay, here's what it's going to actually look like in the project. Where is it at? Wait, what am I doing here? Am I lost? The update method. Alright, let's double check. We got to find the update method in Pac-Man. Where's the update method? Oh, there it is. Here it is. Okay, so, well, add that in there. You can do it from the thing. Alright, so add that in there. Okay, so add that line by line, write down what this code does. Okay, so in your notes, write down what each of these things is. If you want to just print this page and write it on there, you can. That's fine. But I want you to be able to tell me, you know, what does this do? What does this do? What is this thing called? Conditional statement. Okay, how does that all work? Okay. Alright, file save all to save all your files and classes. Start debugging to see if there are problems. Pac-Man should move with the arrow key. So when you run it, when you debug it, Should look a little something like this. You can just fast forward because this takes forever. Sorry. Alright, here we go. So here's our Pacman. And when I use the arrow keys, you can see he rotates north, south, east, and west, and he moves north, south, east, and west. Okay, we haven't animated him yet. That will be next. Well, not next. Next is using the keyboard, the controller control. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to our spiel. Okay. So the state of the gamepad can be represented by. All right. So we're going to use the gamepad now. By called a gamepad state object. This contains information about the state of the gamepad at the particular instant. The gamepad state object also provides properties you can use to read this status information. Alright, so add these new variables of primate. So we already have the variable that's keeping track of the keyboard, so now we're going to do one that keeps track of the keypad, or the gamepad. Okay, add those in. And add the statement of the update method in Pacman. Okay. And add the statement to the update method in Pacman. Okay, so now modify this 3 times to make it left, up, down, left, up, and down work. So this will only go right. So you modify this so it'll make it go all the directions. And add the statement to the update method in Pacman. And now you should see, now your Pacman should work not only with the keyboard, but with the controller. So grab a controller from me and see if it works. Okay, you might have to install it first, but anyway, give it a shot. Alright, let me show you what the code looks like. Okay, so here's what your Pacman looks like. So you added the input, you have the variables for the keyboard, and then down here we added the variables for the gamepad. Alright, and then we set the speed to 2 so the guy can move. What's this? Okay, so we have, so we're getting the keyboard state and the gamepad state. Okay, so this is the keys for here's the keyboard, up, down, left, and right, and then here's all the stuff for the gamepad. So right, left, up, down, and then so you're setting these. We're not really doing much with this yet, but we will later. Okay, give it a shot. And quiz. What is an enum? What is its purpose? And what is its purpose in this solution? So why are we using an enum? What would happen if you left out this code right here? Right there. What would happen if you left that out? What do we call a subroutine that starts with an if? Okay. Ready to go. That's it.